Good morning, everyone. Or I guess it's not morning for everybody, but hello. I know we have a bunch of listeners and speakers all over the world. I hope y'all can hear me. Okay, cool.
Yeah, we do.
I'm here. Amazing. I think that's all. Oh, I think we're just waiting for Sky. Let's see. I guess we can wait a few more minutes and I can just keep babbling. So my name is Vivian. This is my first time hosting a Twitter Spaces on my own, and I'm so honored that the first one that I'm going to be doing solo is for this project, Vitaminisation. Am I saying that correctly? Vitaminisation.
Vitaminization.
Nice. It sounds better when you say it.
You'll keep up.
Amazing. We have all of our speakers now. I'm so glad we were able to make this work because there's so many different time zones. So I guess I just wanted to start this conversation by having just everybody introduce themselves, do a little bit of an icebreaker. So maybe just start off with maybe your name, where you're calling in from, if you're comfortable sharing that. If not, that's totally okay. I understand if people don't want to dox their locations. And just because this is a collection about fruits and vegetables, I thought it would be fun if everyone just also said if they could be a fruit or vegetable, which one would they be and why?
Maybe I'll start then.
Yeah, go for it.
First of all, thank you everyone for attending the spaces, and thank you very much Foundation for having us. It's a huge honor for all collaborators and for me as well. I think you already know me, but if not, my name is Rus1an. I'm a creator of a project Vitamins, and I come up with this collaboration to invite all artists from all over the world, my favorite artists, to do an artwork based on the topic of my project, which is obviously fruits and greens and berries and vitamins. So
Amazing. Who would like to go next? Ranxdeer, maybe?
Hi, everyone. Thank you for... can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
yes.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for inviting me to join you today. I'm very excited to be here. And thanks, Rus1an, for having me on the collaboration. It's been really cool. So I am Lebanese, and I have been in the NFT space since last February. So it's been around a year and a half. And my favorite fruit is blueberry. I don't know why I would be a blueberry, but that's my favorite fruit. So, yeah.
That's okay also. I realized that I actually didn't answer my own question, and I feel like my answer to my own question is that I would be a strawberry because the little green part on top looks like a hat, and I think hats are cute. Thank you for that answer. I fully relate to just relating to something for kind of no reason.
That's
Rus1an,
cool.
I realized that you also didn't answer. I maybe moved on too quickly.
Yeah, I missed it because I was still thinking about it, but after a few hours of consideration, I just think that my favorite fruit is watermelon.
A
And
watermelon.
it's something about them that they are very seasoned, in a special time of the year. It's always warm and cool outside, and it's just you could live 2 months maybe just by eating watermelons. That's what I'm feeling. And as you say, they also have a tiny thing that looks like not like a hat, but like maybe hair, like kid hair.
Nice. I also meant to ask this or include this in my list of questions, but I think when we're online, it can be so hard to know what people's pronouns are. So if y'all also want to go through and mention your pronouns, that would be great also. So I'm gonna start. I'm she, her. So sorry for all of my questions being out of order. It is because it is quite early for me. But I will wake up early for Vitaminisation to speak with all of you because I'm such a big fan, and I know everyone else on the foundation team is as well. So I guess to go back and ask Ruslan and Ranxdeer if you could all if you feel comfortable sharing your pronouns as well, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I'm very generic in this, so my pronouns are usually he, him. But thank you for asking. I let the word to Venice.
Nice.
Yeah, my pronouns are she, her.
Thank you. And Rus1an, I mean, not to keep just talking about fruits, but we will be doing that a lot during this conversation. And the intention for this conversation is to feel exactly like that. So if anytime during our conversation, if somebody is saying something where that sparks like a thought for you, like please feel free to just start talking. Don't feel like you need to be called upon. I really want these Twitter spaces just to feel like a group of friends talking, which is why I'm kind of just being semi-silly now. But Ruslan, you talking about watermelons. Watermelons was one of my favorite fruits growing up, and I remember wishing that watermelon pie existed. Anyway, maybe let's. Sorry, I'm just caffeinated and talking right now.
That's cool. I don't think we really need a watermelon pie. It's like.
Yeah, I'm sure watermelon pie would not be yummy. Maybe let's move on to Bjorn. Do you mind maybe telling us your name so we know how your name is pronounced and your pronouns? And if you could be a fruit or vegetable, what would you be and why?
Hi guys. First of all, I would like to thank Rus1an for the opportunity to collaborate with the Vitaminisation, and thank you guys for having me here. My name is Bjorn Calleja. I'm from Manila, Philippines. My pronouns are he, him. If I was a fruit, I'd probably be a kiwi because I'm brown on the outside, but I'm green on the inside. That's just a joke.
That's so cute. When you say green on the inside, what do you mean? Or is that just like vibes?
I'm just kidding.
Nice.
I can't think of a fruit that I can relate to. I'd be a lot of fruits, depending on the day, man.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. Sky, I think you're the last one. Do you mind saying your name so we know how to pronounce it and your pronouns and fruit or vegetable that you would be and why?
Yeah, hi, I'm Sky. I'm in Chicago. My pronouns are they, them. And I also wanted to thank Rus1an. This project has been like a much needed bit of fun in the NFT space that I've needed. So thank you for having me. Fruit, I think I'm gonna go with a pomegranate because they are sweet and tart, and they're a little bit weird on the outside, but then they're extremely like complex and beautiful on the inside.
Nice. I am also realizing that I forgot to call on you, Diela. I'm gonna make you talk now. Hello.
Hello. So my name is Diela Maharanie. I'm from Indonesia, and you can pronounce she, her. And my favorite fruits will be durian. Either you hate it
Durian.
or love it.
That's
I
cruel.
no, go for
Sorry,
it.
Ruslan.
That's cruel for everyone else.
Yeah, I didn't want to have all of my questions center around fruits and vegetables. But I do have more questions about this, and I like that, we're bringing up fruits and vegetables that are maybe have meaning within like an art history context. And it's also really amazing that we have like a global group of artists who are just from like different parts of the world that have different fruits. So like durian might be something that maybe some of the listeners don't know about because it's maybe more like regional or like not eaten everywhere. And yeah, I have questions about that, which I probably will get into later. But I wanted to start off by asking you, Ruslan, and you had sort of touched upon this already, is I mostly wanted to know how you came about putting together this show. I think it's amazing that you've sort of brought together 52 artists and made kind of this little like art community. And I guess I wanted to know like why fruits and vegetables, and also how did you go about finding and reaching out to the different artists that you do, and what you were thinking about when you were kind of putting together this cohort of artists.
Yeah, thanks. Actually, this all started when I was looking like at current situation on the market and on PFP collections that I don't really love this kind of situation, like constant grinding. They are not really oriented to anyone but flippers, and I started to consider like something like a project where I could bring all artists together and create a safe space like for everyone to create, to share their thoughts. And since we all here are doing NFTs, right, I just come up with idea for a collection of fruits. I don't know exactly why I pick them, because maybe I just love them. And there are a lot of dark stuff like everywhere, and a lot of dark stuff in NFTs. And I wanted to reach several goals, but the main thing maybe was to create a positive impact for everyone and create a safe space, right, like I said. And when I started to reach for my favorite artists to do a collab, I didn't have like a whole picture in my mind yet, but I wanted to invite 100 people, and to be honest, I reached about 500 maybe. Like I did, like I'm probably just spent a month just writing messages for my favorite artists, and even for some that I just met out there, maybe I just saw them on the main page of Foundation, and I like immediately went to their Twitter page, shoot them a message, and invite a collaboration. And I didn't really imagine that this could bring such a good community together, and super talented artists. And I'm truly overwhelmed by everyone's impact on this. And I also wanted to say thank you for collaborators once again. Uh, and I don't know, maybe I missed some part of your question, but
No, I feel like I asked you a ton of questions all at once, and I promise I won't be focusing on you too much. So you don't need to be worried about me just like only asking you questions. When you talk about wanting to do a project that's fun because there's so much kind of like bad, scary stuff in the world. I think that's the sense that I get from the project, is that it's something that's just like really fun. It's bringing a lot of people together, and I feel like maybe that's why the project has been so successful. You guys have had so many sales, and I think it's just because the art brings the viewers so much joy. Um, I am interested to hear from maybe one of the artists, if one of you wants to volunteer, but if not, I'm more than happy to pick on somebody. Just about like what drew you to wanting to participate. Maybe we can have two artists answer. Maybe Bjorn, Sky. I'm picking on you.
Okay. Uh, um, Actually, I met Ruslan while I was shopping for NFTs on Tezos. So I bought a few of his works. And then he messaged me about the project, and at first I was hesitant because I've been exclusively minting on Tezos. So um I I haven't thought about myself dropping something on Ethereum. But well, he's a great I mean, he pushed me, so I made something for the project. But well,
Yeah, I
it is
oh,
an incredible project.
yeah, I think something that I like about this project is Ruslan's curation of both artists that are maybe sort of bigger and well-known artists, and then maybe newer artists who are either like new to Ethereum, maybe new to NFTs. I feel like that it's just like a nice way to discover new artists. That's been another thing that I've really liked, just being able to. And we even made a tweet about it. It's like, oh, just go to the collection and look, like click on a piece, and then just click on the split and see, like, find a new artist. So I think it, like, we're so happy that, you've minted on Ethereum, and we're honored that it's on Foundation. Sky, don't think I forgot about you. If you wanted to speak at all to sort of what attracted you to being interested in participating.
Yeah. Well, I think as far back as I can remember, Ruslan's art has stood out to me in the space. Like I started minting NFTs in May of 2021, and I'm mostly in the Tezos space, but I do mint on Ethereum. It's just that I've had more success in Tezos than I've had on ETH, so I kind of just keep sticking to Tez. But I just remember Ruslan's art sticking out to me as super colorful and textured and playful. And so I think anytime he would like post something in the space, I'd always retweet it. He probably knows, like, I was always retweeting his stuff. So I think through that, we just already had a kind of unspoken connection. And I was drawn to the project, so I already knew his work and liked his work. So there was a feeling of trust there. And then I saw all the people that he was already bringing in to the space, and it was all artists that I already loved, or B, I could see the vision of why he was bringing that artist into the space in terms of the playfulness and the use of colors. I think use of colors is a big underlying thread between all of the artists on this project, like just colors that make you smile and make your eyes light up. So all those things, yeah, made me just say, hell yeah, like right off the bat. And also just, this was like one of the most easygoing collaborations, like a combination of easygoing and successful that I've ever been a part of, in the sense that Rus1an just kind of, the vision was just picking the right artists, and then we had total, it just had to be like a fruit or a vegetable, but like we had total creative freedom. There was no like, you have to do it this way, or it has to be this format or this medium. It was just totally like playful and fun. So the whole experience was really, really lovely.
Sky,
thank you.
you're touching upon something that I actually wanted to ask, which is like, prior to this, did y'all feel like a community already? I love sort of like the spirit of collaboration that this project brings. And, I love hearing that it was just like an easy, fun going collaboration for you. Diela, I'm going to call on you. And I was wondering if, any of the artists, and there are so many, if, any of them you've maybe collaborated with in the past already. I noticed that you collected from the Vitaminisation collection. And yeah, I'm just curious, like, if you've worked with any of the other artists before, if you've collected from any of the artists before. That was a lot of questions, so it's okay if you don't answer them all at once.
Yeah, I think I haven't had collaboration before with any of the artists in the collection, but I would love to. And yeah, I really love Dima's creation. Like I from the beginning, I already want to place a bit, and but some things come up. I have to work and everything. Fortunately, I still can pick it.
Nice. And I mean, have any of the rest of you collaborated together in the past? Or is it a first time for y'all?
Yeah, I have collaborated with a few of the artists in the collection. I mean, I kind of know all the artists more or less. I think like 90% of the artists, we all started together in the space last year. And I've collaborated with Voya and Odyssey of the Heart from the people who have been in this collection. And yeah, we've even collected from each other, and we've been like together since the beginning. So that was a really nice aspect of this collaboration as well.
Yeah, I love seeing artists collecting from each other. And especially seeing y'all collect from each other from this project itself. I feel like it basically says like, yeah, like this is so fun and I believe in it so much that I'm literally gonna collect as well. And I have a few questions about fruits, actually. Going back to sort of what I was discussing earlier about, I don't know, like food being so cultural, and even coming down to Diela mentioning like that your favorite fruit is a durian. I know that this is maybe a bit of a silly question, but if any of you have like any particular like relationships or memories with food, or is the theme just kind of like, yeah, it was like fun and I just like picked this uh like fruit just because I thought it looked funny. I'd love to know like Bjorn, like your piece. I think it has like a tangerine. Should I pull it up? Like, how did you go about selecting that? Like, how did you concept that piece? I'm calling on you specifically now, Bjorn.
Okay. Yeah, it's kind of funny because the deadline was almost up, so I still haven't started with the piece, and I and then one night I just opened the refrigerator and saw an orange there, so I think I played with it before I ate it.
Nice. I also loved that your piece is like multi-layered. With the flashing kind of like painted backgrounds and then these little characters hanging off of the eyes. I'm curious like what you were thinking about when you were putting that together? Like if in your mind there was like a narrative.
Yeah. When Rus1an approached me, he just specifically told me that uh, he wanted me to make a piece for a collaboration, and he showed me the project, the vitamins project, and just told me that if I was to do the project, how would it look like, or what would be my approach for creating the project. And then I have this series of I call them swivel heads. It's a collection of heads that's swiveling around, just trying to look around. So I thought the orange would look perfect swiveling, if it had a face. So well, the idea for the series is when you look at it within a particular collection, that it's gonna be looking around your collection, or um maybe I can relate it to myself that
Mhm.
I'm looking around the space like an idiot. So
I love that. I'm looking at the piece right now in the collection, and I'm thinking about how, your piece is like looking at everything else. I also noticed, Ranxdeer, that your piece also has your fruits are sort of anthropomorphized, like that your piece also similarly feels like it has kind of like a narrative energy to it. Kind of like with the eyeballs looking around. I feel like I'm creating a story for the piece, and I'm curious if you, when you were creating the piece, if you had like a story in mind, and like what you think the mood is for your piece. I'd love to know more about it.
Yeah, so normally I create environments or spaces with this kind of futuristic aspect. And I use a lot of colors already in my work. I'm very inspired by postmodernism, so I already use a lot of color combinations. When Ruslan told me about this project, the first thing that came to my mind was like having these fruits kind of hanging out in a space, kind of having conversation. And normally I'm very experimental with my work. I don't plan very much like further than that. So that was my idea to start with. And I just went with that, and this is what came out. So yeah, you have these faces kind of having these expressions, and yeah, I mean, you can interpret it the way you want. Like I normally leave space for that, and yeah, but that was my idea basically.
Has anyone shared with you their interpretations of this piece
With me,
already? With you, or have you seen anybody discussing that?
not precisely. No, I would like to hear if anyone has.
Does anyone of our speakers have like a thing that they're thinking about it? I don't know if I'm bringing like Western connotations to any of these fruits and vegetables to it. But like I love that these bananas have these little like water droplets, and these eyeballs, and the expression on the lemon, I think is quite fun.
Yeah, for me it looks like the evening at Las Vegas that didn't go so well, but still very fun.
Nice. um, Hearing you talk about how your work is about sort of like environments, Sky, I thought that I would ask you about your work, because a lot of the pieces you seem to make also seem to be about landscape, and your piece is, it also seems to be referencing like landscape and space with this sort of mountainscape in the back. I'm curious about your approach to this piece, and I guess more broadly, what your interest in like landscape and environment is.
Yeah. Yeah, similarly to others, like I think whenever there's a project with a deadline and you have those constraints, some of the choices you end up making kind of on the fly without overthinking too much. So I was kind of in a similar boat there. But I think like, yeah, environments and scapes and worlds are kind of my happy place and my go-to. So I knew that I could make something like that. So for this piece, there's a few different processes like happening, but I used this coding called Hydra code, which is like an open source code that you can use to make different visuals, and then ran that through all these like video mixers to get the feedback for the sky, and then just mapped everything. Everything in the piece is mapped with different types of video hardware processes, which is kind of a big part of my background as an artist. So kind of having that stuff in there, I think, is, I don't know, just important to my stamp on it. I've always been drawn to scapes and landscapes. Before I got into creating work with technology, I just painted with watercolors. And so I was very drawn to landscape painters. I also grew up in New York near the Hudson Valley. So there's like a rich history of Hudson Valley painters, and those landscapes are actually part of my childhood, walking around in those landscapes. So I think when I'm making work today, those landscapes kind of come into my work, but in this, tech, computer, techno, sci-fi, futuristic way, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does. I think it's also really cool to hear about like how you have a painting background and like, I don't know, Hudson Valley and how that, has influenced your interest in the landscape. I also think it's interesting how in your piece, it's almost like the fruits are no longer fruits. They're almost like hills or trees. And that brings me to you, Diela, about your use of kind of fruits as planets. In your piece, you have like a watermelon as like a planet, and it has like, rings around it. And I thought that was really interesting because from looking at some of your other work, it seems like you're interested in, like maybe astronauts. And I'm curious how you like what you were thinking about when you merged the world of like outer space with the world of fruits.
Yeah, I always have this interest about outer space, and since like the beginning, I start drawing. I always draw astronaut and everything. And for this collaboration, I don't really think much about the concept and everything. I just having fun and start drawing because everyone already submitting their pieces. So uh, I just draw my characters, and because I think it will be cute if I add watermelon as a planet, and holding. I initially want to draw durian, but durian is so hard to draw, so I choose pineapple instead.
Yeah, I feel like durian could like be an interesting looking planet, but I fully understand why durian would be hard to draw. Yeah, I don't know if this is maybe like a funny question, but I'm curious how people selected the fruits that appeared in their works, and it's okay if this question isn't that fun and if everybody's answer is just like, yeah, I just like picked it. But I'm noticing like a lot of like bananas and apples and like Sky, you had mentioned like you like I'm noticing like from y'all's answers about if you could be a fruit, which one would you be? Slash, what is your favorite fruit? And kind of noticing that those fruits aren't included, and I'm wondering what the deal with that is. Because fruits have so much like art history connotation. So Sky, you had mentioned you would be a pomegranate, and to me, pomegranates have like this place in art history. I don't really know what I'm asking right now. Yeah, okay, laugh emojis, sick.
I
Let's
just
move
don't
on.
think I'm talented enough to like 3D model a pomegranate yet. That's just
Yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah.
That's just the honest
Not,
truth.
yeah. Not to like flame you for like, how come pomegranates aren't in it? It's sounding technical, Diela. You didn't do a durian because drawing it would be hard in sky pomegranates. I feel you. Um, I guess I can move on then, because it seems like maybe there isn't much about just like why banana, even though I'm like banana funny, and that's why. Um, I guess Ruslan, I
Yeah, I
have
love honest interpretations because I love fruits. They funny, they looks cool. This is why I come up to decided to go up with them.
amazing. Yeah, I feel like I'm just asking questions that are taking this like, yeah. Anyway, so I actually wanted to ask you about a little more about just the process of putting together this project. Is there like, what was your thinking in terms of like creating the collection? I love that you utilized splits for this. Like, was it you minting everything to the contract and setting everything up?
Yeah, it was me. I mean that everything, and by the way, this is only reason why I needed to increase my royalties, because originally we were thinking to go with 1% royalties for me, just for organizing this. But since I spent some ads on this, I needed to go a bit higher and took a piece from each artist. Sorry for that, but I can't operate other ways because I don't have S. And oh, what was the rest of the question, by the way?
I was just asking about because looking at it, I assume it must have been so much production work. Hearing you say that you reached out to maybe like 100 or more artists, and then I assume coordinating all of the art, making sure you have everyone's like information down correctly, like the descriptions, getting the wallet addresses. That just seems like no small feat. Uh,
Yeah, organizing was a bit tough because everyone is maybe everyone is here is an artist and they know how it goes. It's like you always procrastinate till the last moment, and when it hits, you also procrastinate a bit more. And when it's just too late, you are starting to work actually.
mhm,
And I'm same in this. I'm always doing everything in the last minute,
mhm,
and even if I try to do it right and keep everyone organized, we still have maybe 3 deadlines
mhm,
burned because originally we were thinking to mint at in June, even like maybe 20th of June. Then we moved it to the June 30, and once again to the July 10th. So yeah, I tried to keep everyone motivated, and was pushing every artist to post their VIP, their work in progresses, so everyone else would be. Uh, it's like it's easier to create when you see that someone else already created something. So
mhm,
uh, it just could make you think in the right way, in the right direction. So
mhm,
I was always asking collaborators to put their artworks in our group chat. And by the way, about wallets, this wasn't a challenge for all. I didn't even ask anyone about their wallet because, First of all, I knew all of these artists before, and I knew the name. And after a month or even 2 months with some of them, 2 months of conversations, of group chatting, and I just remembered them even better. And when a split process comes to play, I just typed their name and was looking for their profile and foundation, and it's really easy and very cool feature. It's easy to use, and it helped us to gain so much of attention. And to be honest, I am already a bit frustrated about minting them all from my wallet because I can't place a bit by myself. There were so many artworks that I really loved, and I immediately wanted to bid on them, but I only realized it after mint that I can't really place a bid on my own artworks that I minted from my wallet.
I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, me too.
It's fun hearing you talk about how all of you are in a group chat together and you were sharing works in progress. And I'm curious if any of you were creating, as you were making things, if you were inspired by each other, and also if it sounds like many of you already knew each other, or at the very least were familiar of each other's works. And I'm wondering if being in a group chat made you all feel closer, if you felt inspired by each other.
Yeah, I wanted to say, sorry if I interrupted you.
No,
I
it's
wanted to
okay.
say that, in my opinion, and as I feel it, there's something like a circle of artists around foundations that minting and everything, or only on foundation or mostly on foundation, and we just basically we know each other because of foundation. Maybe we met each other on a marketplace or just saw a retweet from a foundation page, and since then we were supporting each other, and it just feels like all the same people that were retweeting each other is now in one place in one group chat.
Yeah, something that I really like about Web3, not to just like wax poetic about it, but it's nice that, it can bring so many people together. And what I like about this show is that it kind of reminds me of like art shows my friends would put together, where it would just be like 100 of your best friends in a room together, and how that can feel like a party. And Rus1an, not to keep putting you on the spot, but my understanding of Vitaminisation is that it's related to a project called Vitamins, which you were mentioning is a PFP project. I'd love to know more about that.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, we have our Twitter account here on stage as a speaker. My associate Maria is over there. Maybe she will speak a few words a bit later, but I could totally introduce it to all our listeners because it's all started from them. As I said, I wanted to create something, some kind of a collection, a PFP collection that will stand off from a usual PFP. I think everyone knows that those PFP projects are often created designed by non-artists or hired artists, and there are usually no real artists behind it, except for a couple different projects like maybe Creatures and a few more, maybe Peaceful Void also, that really built by artist and the founder. And I wanted to do a cool project, like in this narrative of artist-based project, and I just tried to keep my style on as I usually do, and I tried to create something that will be valuable for my collectors, because it looks like my usual art, but now you could place it on your PFP, and some of my collectors were asking for that, and based on all this thoughts, I created this project, Vitamins, and basically it's fruit heads with different stuff and different emotions. I really love playing with randomization. Also, there are not many 3D projects like this, because there are no right software to do a randomization process, and I build not me but my friend developer build a tool for me that allows me to generate random characters like on the fly, and I created every trait by myself by like drawing them in 3D and then setting this up, everything up together to make sure that every trait looks really good with every other trait. And also one cool thing that all my one-of-one collectors on Foundation will receive a free vitamin, and as well as collectors for vitaminization, because I wanted this project to be like maybe a ticket to artist community, to artist-based community, where you could meet other artists, share your work, like not like shill in a usual definition of this word, like just drop a link and disappear for forever. And I just think also Foundation used to have a Discord, and it's been closed just because there were no artists and just random characters like shooting their words and disappearing right after that. Maybe this was one of the decisions why you closed your Discord. Did you close it? I just not really sure. Yeah, let's suppose it's closed.
Pre my time, but I believe that it is closed. And I love, I like hearing that, you've created your own space for artists to come together and create real community, instead of, as you said, just like drop a link, share, and like not really participating.
Yeah. I just happened to be in different chats, like for artists, and it's really cool to have a place where you could just basically like come after work and discuss something like maybe not even art related, but when you feel that everyone else is sharing the same views, is as open-minded as everyone else, like. And it's a freedom for everyone. It's a really cool thing to have this kind of place.
Yeah, I think that's beautiful. And is there any like alpha that you can share about the project? We're so excited about it. I don't know if you or anybody else has noticed, but projects created elsewhere can show up on Foundation. So most recently, smart contracts deployed with Manifold can show up, and we're so excited that once Vitamins starts minting, like we'd love to import that onto Foundation so that it's viewable on Foundation as well. Do you have any free alpha? When is it going to be dropping?
We are aiming to launch at July 13, it's a really hard right now, really hard times for everyone and for NFT projects. But since we are aiming to a very focused space for artists, since we're aiming into this space, I don't feel like we really care about market conditions, about cryptocurrencies conditions, and I don't really think we care about this, because the goal for this is to gather everyone, gather artists, and that also using a foundation and being implemented on a foundation marketplace for this project. I believe this will be a huge help, because it's even a PFP projects on foundation looks like an art, and I believe it will be a great pleasure to collect from foundation and to see your vitamin tower, your collection in there, and I believe it will be easier to discover for artists as well, and I really looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too. I wanted to ask the other artists if there's anything just in general, maybe projects you have coming up that you're looking forward to. Um, Maybe I'll start with Diela.
Currently, I'm still uh, just creating one of one and mint on foundation. And currently, there's a bid going, auction going. And for the next project, I don't know. I don't really have I don't make a sort of like generative, or I just draw whatever whenever I feel like to draw.
Hmm. That's valid. Uh,
Yeah, thank you.
I'm excited to see them. Bjorn, do you have any other things coming up that you're excited about?
Um, I'm I'm just currently also making one of ones on Tezos. Sadly, I have I'm part of the Tezos exhibition at Geckoland during uh the GeckoCon, and also uh I'm preparing for an exhibition for next month, and I might drop a few one of ones if I'm able to make new animations. So I still have a few available one of ones on my Tezos accounts. Just um, please check out the art.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure to be exposed to your work through this through this project, and you don't need to feel shy about the fact, that you're minting on Tezos. Like, I love to see it. We're also honored that one of your first pieces, maybe it is your first piece, that's on Ethereum, is on Foundation. Of course, if you want to mint more on Ethereum, we'd love to have more, but absolutely no pressure. Um, Ranxdeer, do you have anything exciting coming up that you want to share?
Nothing specific, really. I just, like Diela, I create whatever I feel like creating. And yeah, mainly I'm minting on Foundation. And I have some multi editions on OpenSea. And those are my main projects. Yeah, I mean, I've been also working on more audiovisual artworks with the music artists. So I'm looking forward to making more of those, but nothing further than that.
Amazing. I also saw that you had a collection that sold quite a few pieces recently, so congrats on that.
Which one?
Let me pull up the name. While I pull it up, let's have Sky talk about if you have anything exciting coming up.
Yeah. Let's see. Well, on Foundation, I have two little collections that I started. One is called Audiovisual Experiences, which I started. There's a collection on object.com, but I wanted to have it cross-chain, so I brought it over to Foundation. So there's just the first mint of that, but it's an audiovisual work where I created this the scape, and then my friend Joey Milan created the audio, the sound. And it's a cool thing is that my friend Joey is my neighbor. He lives down the block from me, so we get to work in real space in real time on things, which is a real treat. And then, you know, I'm sure you all heard about this Mid-Journey craze.
Mid-Journey.
Some do, but I also went down the Mid-Journey rabbit hole a little bit. But I was just trying. I mean, I was thinking of Mid-Journey as like this way that you can visually express your fantasies or your daydreams, like less like, oh, I'm creating this original piece of art, more like this kind of, you know, Philip K. Dick sci-fi future thing where you can like collectively text prompt out your dreams. So I started playing with creating just all these like beautiful men to express my gender identity. And so I created this little collection on Foundation called Analog Boys in Love, where the source material are from text prompts that I did in Mid-Journey of like having men embrace each other or kiss each other or just look like lovers. And then I ran them all through video hardware with video feedback, and then I photographed them off my old television screen, and then that was like the final output. And you get these kind of a bizarre kind of mashup of aesthetics, I think, but the idea is to kind of like still capture like the essence of like a gesture of love. So that's been really fun. So I just minted those onto Foundation. And then other than that, in Tezos land, I've always got my fingers in lots of little pies. So if people are on Tez, just come check out my object. There's lots of different little collections there.
Dope.
Yeah, I feel like that's like we're almost at an hour, and I feel like that's maybe a great note to end on, just like ending on like love.
I would also like to invite, as I said, my associate Maria. She's a head of marketing here at Vitamins, and I'd like to invite you to say a few words before we end, and then we'll go to wrap it up if everyone else is good.
Maria, bring us home, wrap it up.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm very happy to be here with you today. So I just wanted to say that I'm very happy to work with Rus1an together, and we have around 5 teams just working on marketing, and we're trying to do our best. And I want to remind about our mint. It's almost like in 2 weeks we are doing our final marketing activities for upcoming 2 weeks, and make sure it's July 30. And we plan lots of like community events for artists that are gonna take place on Twitter and Discord as well. So we are just very excited, and I'm very happy. I had a real pleasure to listen to you guys. And I think we are about to build a really good community together. And also, I want to thank Foundation for having this space today with all of us. So that's it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
For just putting together this great collection of artists and exposing us and everyone else at Foundation to so many new ones. And thank you for joining. I don't know if it was a weird time where you're based in the world, but I really am glad to have had the opportunity to be able to speak to all of you today. Have a good day. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we have a new beat. We have only 4 artworks left without beats.
Amazing. I also saw
Yeah.
that there was a secondary too.
Yeah, already secondary started, and also we had a couple offers thrown at us, but no one accepted it because we are strong together, Fruit Fam, and now it's only 4 artworks left for sale. So hurry up, everyone, if you wanted to join our Fruit Fam.
Yeah. All right. Looking forward to Vitamins and seeing you all on the internet.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you,
Bye.
everyone. Thank
Bye.
you for
Thank
hosting,
you.
and thank you very much, everyone who came in here to listen for us.
Thank you, guys.